Monday Mortgage Quarterback back after a week off, guys. Had a little vacation time sprinkled in, but man, this is really one of my favorite weekends, football weekends of the year when you include college football in the mix. Rivalry week, the game, yes, go blue. This was the biggest underdog by either team in this series, in the series history, and Michigan finds a way to win. Just spectacular. Really uplifted my weekend, my Thanksgiving weekend. And again, this is one of my favorite weekends of the year. Week 13 in the NFL. But first, before we dive in there, Thanksgiving week, all the hype surrounding turkey, turkey, turkey. Well, let's talk about Tur-KEYS, right? Now, how do you get the keys to your home? Well, your loan has to close and your loan has to fund. And in order for your loan to fund, we have to make sure that your closing costs are paid. And really, one of the biggest pieces of advice that the lender should be giving you is to make sure that you verify your closing instructions directly with your title agent, either in person or over the phone. These should never be verified over email. Please be aware of any phishing attempts out there, any wire fraud attempts out there. Unfortunately, things like this are real, and we want to make sure that you're not falling victim to that. Now, as we turn the page here in week 13, Thanksgiving Day kicked off in Detroit as it normally does, with the Chicago Bears traveling to Detroit, really looking to get some positive things going on their season. But really in this one, it just was not to be. You had the first half, the Detroit Lions starting hot, shutting the Bears out. It was 16-0 at halftime. 3 field goals by Jake Bates. Mix in a Jared Goff touchdown to Sam Laporta. He would add a second one in the second half, but it was the Bears driving with a chance to tie this one late in the game, only to have a sack with 30 seconds left. The Bears choosing not to use their final timeout. Instead, they only get off one more pass attempt. It falls incomplete. Just a debacle of time management at the end of this one, and it allowed Detroit to hang on for a 23-20 win. And guess what happened the very next day? The Bears fired head coach Matt Eberflus. Perhaps this one really should have happened at the end of last year, or maybe a little bit earlier this season. So Bears fire the coach, Detroit gets to win. Now the Cowboys hung on in game 2 behind a pick 6 from their defense. I believe this was the second game for the Giants after they're releasing their failing franchise quarterback Daniel Jones. The win for Dallas was their first at home this season. The Turkey Day nightcap, now this had my Dolphins traveling to Green Bay, really needing a win to keep their slim playoff hopes alive, and they came in with an 11-game losing streak in games in which the starting temperature was 40 degrees or below, and in this one it was 27 degrees, so we should have known what was going to happen, right? It was Jordan Love for Green Bay with a fast start, hitting Jaden Reed on 2 touchdown passes in the first half. Green Bay defense added 5 sacks of Tua Tagovailoa, who did play well in this one, but it just wasn't enough. Green Bay's 7th win in their last 8 games, 30-17 over my Dolphins. Now, Black Friday, Amazon Prime on Black Friday, and it was the Kansas City Chiefs finding yet another unique way to win. This time it was a botched snap fumble as the Raiders were traveling down the field late in the game for a chance at a game-winning field goal. It was not to be, and instead the turnover sealed the 11th win for the Chiefs, who remain unbeaten at home this season. I mean, well, how else are they going to win a game this year? I don't know, a walk-off punt return or something like that. We'll see. It was other wins this week by the Chargers, who are now 8-4. The Steelers 9-3. Russell Wilson with 414 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. I mean, I guess Mike Tomlin made the right decision in going to him when he was healthy. The Vikings get their 10th win. They're 10-2. The Colts with the win. The Seahawks with the win. The Commanders notching their 8th win on the season. The Texans 8-5. The Rams, the Bucks, both those teams sitting now at 6-6. It was the Eagles in a big win over the Ravens to move to 10-2 on the season, keeping pace with Detroit for that top seed. And the Bills over the 49ers, who yet another injury for the 49ers. They lose McCaffrey for the year. They also lost their backup, running back as well, to an ankle injury for the year. So it's time to probably do a little bit of rebuilding for the Niners. They've got injuries just about everywhere. So thanks a lot, guys. Monday Mortgage Quarterback. We'll be back with week 14. Let me know in the comments who you got winning the Super Bowl. We're getting close to the end of the season. It's crunch time for you fantasy footballers out there. Let me know in the comments who you got in the Super Bowl. I'd sure like to see the Lions playing maybe the Bills. We'll see. Take care.